Looking back, Science 10, this is the 1.8 section in the CD3 booklet, comparing ecosystems. And what we'll look at here are artificial and natural ecosystems. So, for example, your schoolyard, parks, farms, managed forests are all artificial ecosystems. So those ones are planned or maintained by humans. Lakes, rivers, forests, deserts, and meadows, though, are classified as natural ecosystems. The living community is free to interact with the physical and chemical environment with little or no human intervention. Now it says here, however, this does not mean that the area is untouched by humans, because humans are a natural part of many ecosystems, but natural ecosystems haven't been planned or maintained by humans to a high degree. In this case study, we'll compare a meadow, which is natural, versus a park, which is artificial. Change within a park is limited because of human interference, as you can see in this picture down here. Although the trees grow, most parks look somewhat the same all the time from year to year, because humans manage the change. Okay, whatever they want to see, they make sure that happens. Natural ecosystems, though, can undergo subtle changes as one plant or animal species gradually replaces another. Only plants and animals suited for that environment flourish. In an artificial ecosystem, though, plants selected by humans have the advantage. So, for example, dandelion, likely not wanted in a park, so it would be sprayed, pesticides to get rid of certain bugs, etc. So, in the case study that we do, there are questions throughout that you have to answer as you read through it. So the first one is, list some reasons why humans would select one plant over another. So, for example, why wouldn't humans choose to keep dandelions in parks? So you could use that as part of an answer. Weeds in artificial ecosystems. Plants can be classified in many different ways. Ecologists classify them based on structure. However, gardeners and park workers have an overall classification. They're either weeds or not weeds, which is, of course, a subjective grouping. Different people may classify weeds as flowers and vice versa. This classification is not based on structure, size, or reproductive capacity. Weeds are naturally occurring plants that have fallen out of favor with humans. So the obvious question here, suggest some reasons why a plant might be considered to be a weed. So why is a dandelion considered to be a weed, let's say, in a park? So you can answer that question. Of course, these two here are very opinionated questions, so your opinion is what you're going to be looking for. Comparing biotic factors. So, of course, biotic are living factors. So living factors in a meadow here versus living factors in the park. What human activities prevent the artificial ecosystem of the city park from changing? So there's a lot of hints in this picture right here. How come it doesn't change? D, which ecosystem demonstrates a greater biodiversity? If you can recall in the last video, bio means living and diversity means many different types. So many different types of living things. And then explain your conclusion. E, speculate why grasshopper sparrows found in the meadow are less likely to be found in city parks. And there should be a comma there, grasshoppers and sparrows possibly. F, speculate why coyotes are not found in common city parks. Okay. The rest of this I'm going to skip. It talks about environmental factors, and these are basically abiotic factors such as temperature, comparing city parks versus meadows, wind speed, evaporation rate, relative humidity, the light hitting the ground, the soil fertilizer rating, etc. So those are some non-living things that are different and can affect a city park or a meadow. And I think there's a few questions here that refer to that. So we're just going to skip this last part here and not worry about that. But in terms of understanding concept questions, number one, yeah, we can do that one. List abiotic factors found in a city park or a meadow. So you can grab some of these from down here if you like. And then explain how human interference influences the factors that you mentioned up here. Two, we can do that question. Which of the two ecosystems, the meadow or the park, would provide a better habitat for a fox? So where would a fox find it easier to live? Give reasons. Not all ecosystems have more biodiverse. Not all natural ecosystems have more biodiversity than artificial. Give 2 examples of an artificial system that could possibly have more types of animals living in it than a natural ecosystem, and then provide an explanation. So think about that. Think about what little kids like to see. If you go to a big city, they may have something there where there are a lot of animals, and they'd have way more animals than, let's say, a forest outside of that city. So that's one example you can think of. So 3 we can do. We're going to skip number 4. And then number 5, some animals such as the raccoon and tree squirrel can actually function in artificial ecosystems. So sometimes you find raccoons around where people live. Which special adaptations or behaviors make these 2 animals successful in a human-dominated environment? And then instead of doing a research thing, or just a couple of sentences. So what have raccoons, squirrels, etc., how can they live in a human environment, in an artificial area? Okay? So those are the questions I'd like you to do, and we'll see you again.